The real reason your body ages after 50 years old, and it's not what you think. Scientists tracked 120,000 people over 8 years, and when they were done, there was one single measurement that predicted who would die the earliest. More than people who smoked, more than people who had diabetes, more than people who had heart disease. And no, it wasn't the cholesterol, it wasn't your weight, it wasn't your blood pressure. So when we're looking at aging, we're looking at the rate at which your body is aging. And the question is, what measurement would give you the best indication of aging? And that measurement is VO2 max. So I want you to ignore the name VO2 max right now. Just realize VO2 max is the measurement of how fuel and oxygen go through the energy factory, the mitochondria, to make energy. Here you are, you cleaned up your diet, you got rid of the sugar, you're taking fish oil, you added collagen, you're taking a bunch of supplements, maybe you do intermittent fasting. Yet in the morning when you get out of bed, you kind of don't jump out of bed anymore. You kind of ease out slowly. And let's say you work out and you're running up a hill and you can't quite make it up there. And it might be more difficult to recover from the workouts because a lot of people have never heard of this and they end up focusing on the wrong things. They might start taking supplements to extend their life, which turns out to be very expensive urine. One thing keeps popping out over and over and over, and maybe you've heard of it before. They call it metabolic disease. What's happening at the cellular level is even though there's fuel present, it doesn't go into the mitochondria. So they're usually fatigued and tired. If you have bad mitochondria, inefficient mitochondria, you're going to have all sorts of problems, diseases. You're not going to live as long. So in reality, a lot of chronic diseases are mostly about not being able to get enough fuel. And when I talk about fuel, I'm also talking about oxygen because it's kind of like a carburetor in your car. You need a certain amount of oxygen with gasoline or fuel to make it work. You can't run an engine just on gasoline without oxygen. So that oxygen is super, super important. And so I did my test on a treadmill and you slowly go up to your maximum. And then you have this sophisticated machinery that's picking up all this information. And they can determine kind of like your biological age or where your fitness is. And so if you have a high VO2 max, you have a high fitness reserve, which is what you want. You want to have this extra reserve. So when you go through stress, you can tolerate a lot more. You don't want to just be on the edge. Let me just show you something really interesting. Over here, we have the risk of dying, a little scale. I drew some bar graphs right here. And if we just take a look at heart disease, for example. So when you have heart disease, you have a 1.3 times risk of dying. High blood pressure, that increases your risk of dying by 1.4 times. And then we have type 2 diabetes, increases your risk by 1.4. Smoking increases your risk by 1.4. Now, this is interesting right here. Being unfit, AKA low VO2 max, is a 5 times risk of dying. All of these other risk factors that so many people put so much attention on trying to improve. Yet being unfit is 5x, okay, if we just compare them. This was in a human study that involved over 120,000 people. Being out of shape was the single biggest threat, way more than smoking and these other problems. All right, I just have to take a moment here to mention this high cholesterol. And this is a big one because so many people are afraid to have high cholesterol. A Swedish cohort of adults 60 years plus found that high total cholesterol was tied to a decreased risk of all-cause mortality. 30% lower risk of dying, not higher risk of dying, but lower. In fact, people, when they get a little bit older, live longer when they have higher cholesterol. The Chinese Longitudinal Healthy Longevity Survey found those with the highest LDL cholesterol had a 23% lower risk of all-cause mortality. I'm excited to share with you 2 new products that we just came out with called Metabolic Taco Seasoning and Live Fire Fajita and Grill Rub. The big reason I came up with these is because when I'd go to the grocery store and I'd read the label, they had all these little hidden fillers, maltodextrin, starches, monosodium glutamate, which actually alters your taste buds. So I came up with my own versions. The Metabolic Taco Seasoning has nutritional yeast. It is delicious. Everyone loves it. If you're like me and you like tacos, and I like to put my tacos in keto bread or even a lettuce wrap, you might want to check this out right here. And in my live fire fajita and grill rub, the flavor is kind of a tangy garlic with citrus layered with chilies. It is delicious. 2 net carbs per serving. It's virtually almost 0. This is a massive upgrade for your chicken, your steak, and your grilled vegetables. Each pouch comes with 4 pre-portioned packets, each perfectly sized for 1 pound of meat or vegetables. Check it out and give me your feedback. I mean, think about how many people are so concerned with their cholesterol, they want to lower it and keep it as low as possible in the hopes that they'll live longer. But that's not what the research says. Now, I'm not telling you to get off your medication. I'm just giving you certain data that shows you how important cholesterol is, especially as we get older, and our body makes it. We make it for our cellular membranes. We make it to make our hormones. Of course, there's other things that also contribute to your health, like having low insulin, okay, because you're not eating carbs all day or eating a lot of snacks. Keeping your inflammation lower, keeping your stress lower, having better nutrient-dense foods. And out of all these things, what influences the mitochondria the most, by far, is how fit you are. But if you really don't have a good machine to turn that food, the superfood or the nutrients, into energy and body tissue, then you really haven't achieved your goal. Now, I know some people are going to watch this and they're going to go, well, age is really related to genetics. That's actually not true. They've done research on identical twins, same DNA, same birthday, who actually drifted 10 to 15 years apart on their aging biological clocks at the same time they hit 50. Same genes, same lives, different aging speeds. And so yes, genetics actually can make you vulnerable to certain things, but it's really the epigenetics, which is the lifestyle, that pulls the trigger. I'm 61. I feel like I am 21. And what I'm going to show you is something that I've been applying to my body. Some of the plan is just walking. And then the last objection I think people will have is like, I don't have the energy to work out. The energy that you get occurs after you start, okay? You have to build the energy machine to be able to generate energy. I have a free download that I want to give to you. This free download is my daily routine in a checklist. This is a routine that I use every day to feel like I'm 18 years old, even though I'm 60 years old, and I want to give it to you for free. And so there's a little link down below. Click it and definitely download that. Now, there's just one last thing I want to tell you before I tell you how to increase your VO2 max. The top anti-aging supplements that I think are a waste of money. Let's start with resveratrol. As an anti-aging pill, it's pretty much dead, okay? Then you have NMN or NAD plus boosters. These are very fancy molecules of vitamin B3, niacin, but there's no randomized controlled trial to show that they slow the aging process down. But these NAD boosters are like $70, incredible amount of money for something we really don't know if it works or not. And then we have our telomerase activators. One independently funded study, never independently replicated. Again, you're tracing this downstream, later in the chain of events marker to hope that you might be living longer. I wouldn't waste your money. Here's another one, spermidine, no human trials. And then we have urolithin A. It's a real mechanism, but the actual effect size in people was just so tiny. Again, I wouldn't put all your eggs in this basket. I would put it in more of the foundational lifestyle factors, like number 1, regular long walks for 30 to 60 minutes. I personally do this 3 times a week. You want to walk at a pace that you could still have a regular conversation with someone without being out of breath. This type of exercise, it's called aerobic exercise, builds more mitochondria. It really makes sense because if we look at our ancestors in the environment that they lived in compared to now, they had a lot more movement. They had to walk long distances. Now we don't get the movement. So yes, you can go to the gym each day and work out, but we need a lot of motion. And the more motion, the better. Now I do this, these Norwegian 4x4s, is a thing that will increase the VO2 max the most. It's been researched, it's been studied, and I personally can tell you it does do that because it increased my VO2 max. Now, when I first started out, I could not do 4 minutes. I could only do 2 minutes. And that's what I did over a period of time. Once the 4 minutes is done, then I rest for probably about 4 to 5 minutes, okay? I want my heart rate to come all the way down. Then I get back on the treadmill. I do the exact same thing, okay? Then I rest for 4 to 5 minutes. And I do that cycle 4 times. I'd also run sprints up hills on another day of the week, and that's pretty much the only running I do. The other times are just long walks. My VO2 max was 47. I'm 61 years old, so I'm at the very bottom level of the elite category, which my biological age is roughly about 32. But my goal, because I'm getting older, is obviously to become more fit as I age. And I'm going to see how far I could push it, but I'm going to keep doing this routine more and more as I get older. All right, number 3 is build some muscle. Resistance training, weight training, super important. The more muscle that you build, the more mitochondria you have. And so muscle is a giant fuel tank that can help soak up excess glucose. The last thing I want to recommend is intermittent fasting. Why? Because this aligns with what our body thrives on, which is eating periodically, not too frequently, allowing our bodies to go through autophagy, which is actually the cleaning up of damaged cell parts, including damaged mitochondria. So there's a lot of benefits to intermittent fasting, especially with longevity. With myself, I do 2 meals a day with no snacks. So a lot of people ask me, what supplements do I recommend? Now, of course, I'm not biased of my own high-quality supplement line, but if you go to Amazon and type Dr. Berg supplements, you'll find more information. In summary, the single most important thing you should focus on to extend your life is your fitness. Now that you understand VO2 max, the next most important thing to get the details on, especially if you're trying to live long, is intermittent fasting and prolonged fasting. For details on that, this is the video you should watch next, right here.